In his book Steep Trails, written in 1918, famous conservationist and naturalist John Muir stated, "In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks." This quote really sums up my life and interests in many ways. And with that, today I will introduce you to myself, Tammy Bergstrom, and I will do this by sharing with you my love of backpacking, edible wild foraging, and birds. I first fell in love with nature on my very first backpacking trip. A good friend of mine took me out into the mountains when I was going through a very challenging time in my life. I had just left an abusive marriage and my mental health was at an all-time low. However, after spending just one night in the backcountry, I woke up a different person. I felt calm, peaceful, connected, and for the first time in quite a while, genuinely happy. Nature soothed me in a way that nothing else ever had, and it made me want to live again. After this first trip, I was hooked. I spent all my free time out in the mountains, hiking, climbing, and backpacking. It helped me get through this challenging time in my life, and it also helped me realize that I wanted to prioritize being in nature for the rest of my life. Fast forward 5 years, and I'm a hiking guide in the Santa Monica Mountains, taking people on 10-mile hikes every morning. After getting some experience in our local mountains, I went on to get a job in Yosemite as a hiking and backpacking guide. It was an absolute dream job, getting to be in nature and help people reconnect with the healing qualities of nature that had saved my life. Now that I've shared with you my love of backpacking, I'd like to share with you my interest in edible wild foraging. Every summer in Yosemite, millions of raspberries grow ripe on the vine. I remember the first time I tried one of these raspberries, I was so amazed by how much life and vibrance was in such a small tree. And it made me want to continue looking for edible wild things to eat. Someone had told me about black morel mushrooms, which came up for a short time in the spring in previously burnt forested areas. So I went on a treasure hunt, and after hours of searching, I finally found my first black morel. I felt like I hit the jackpot. After collecting about a handful of these black morels, I went home and I pan-fried them in salt and butter, and I kid you not, they tasted just like steak. They were so good. I went on to forage for other wild things such as currants, bay nuts, blackberries, and chicken of the woods mushrooms, which do in fact taste like chicken. Now that I've shared with you my love of edible wild foraging, I'd like to share with you my love of birds. So Yosemite is home to over 130 bird species, many of which I got to experience when I was there. I remember the first time I heard a hermit thrush. I was on a backpacking trip and I was by myself and I thought I was hallucinating because the sound I heard I can only describe as having a shimmery quality to it. Once I got home, I researched this and I found out that hermit thrushes have a double voice box, allowing them to sing 2 notes at the same time. I was blown away by this. So I went on to sign up for a birding weekend, where over the course of 2 days, I saw 32 different bird species in Yosemite Valley. I was so amazed by the different colors, patterns, sounds, and behaviors of all these birds. So now everywhere I go, I'm always looking for the birds in the area and trying to identify them. So today I have introduced myself, Tammy Bergstrom, to you. And I've done this by sharing with you my love of backpacking, edible wild foraging, and birds. On that first walk with nature, I truly did find more than I was seeking, and it changed the course of my life forever.